These are the minor seventh type chords on the 1, 4, 5, 6 string family, and they will be on D. So we're going to start out with the chords that go in this direction, and this is a D, F, A, and C. Actually a bit difficult to finger. It's not quite that easy. And then we have the F, A, C, and D on top. From there we have A, C, D. You would have an F normally, but it's a bit difficult. So I'll just do A, C, D, and E is fine there. Or back up at this part is okay too with the F. A, D, F, and E, or with a G on top. Making sure we have voicings on the A, the fifth. And then we have voicing on the C. The closed voicing is a bit difficult, C, D, F, and A, so we'll substitute a G. So we'll have C, D, F, and G for that one. Now for the ones that go across, we can do D, A, C, and F. And we can do F, C, D, and A. Notice this looks like an F major type chord, and we can substitute the E for the A, which we fall back and we can, just to reference the ear, you can see that it matches the D sound, the D minor sound. And again, we're back to these A chords. Now you can put an E inside A, E, F, and G, and for a stretch, we can get a C and a B on top, so we can get those sort of sounds for the D minor. We can get a G on top as well. If we substitute the E for the D, we can have a regular F major looking chord, an F, C, an E, and a G, and maybe with an A on top, and we can hear that sounds like a D minor 7 as well. So that covers the A. And then for the C, C, F, A, and D. So that'll work also going backwards like this, C, F, A, and G. So that's kind of sounds again like an F chord. For the A as well, instead of just this one in the inside and the top, instead of those chords, we can also do A, D, G, and C. So it gives a suspended sound. We can place an F inside instead of the D, A, F, G, and C. So it looks like an F chord proper, but it has a D minor 7 sound. And both of these shapes are the same. If we move to D, G, C, and F, they're both the same. It can go on A and D and make that sound. So now we're substituting the top notes. So instead of F, we got a D and E. So we have D, A, C, and E. And of course we can go up to a G to get an inner melody. D, F, C, and E. So getting the ninth, and that can also go down to the B to get a minor 6 kind of sound. And we can use a suspended fourth there. So we can do D, G, C, and B to get a suspended sound on the minor 6. Moving forward, do them on E to make a few F major type sounds that'll work for the ninth. This is E, C, D, and F. Okay, and we can also come across like this: E, C, F, and G. We can do E, C, F, and A, obviously. All sounds like a D minor. And we've already covered the A chords here, so we've already done that. We're good with that. Now, on the C, we can also get a few more voicings. So if we want to stretch things a bit, we can link it to a sort of a C major sound, C, G, A, and D. So it looks like a C major or a C major 7 with a B on top as a passing chord or as a direct substitute. So those are the basics. Of course, we can go backwards for a minor 6 on the F as well. F, B, E, and D. So those sorts of sounds with an A in there as well works fine. So F, A, E, and D. And always going back and checking to make sure it sounds. Okay. Now for the dominant 7th chords, they're similar in a few ways. So here's the stacked D7. This will be the dominant chords unaltered. So this is D, F sharp, A, and C, straight up and down. F sharp, A, C, and D. And this one's a bit difficult. I'm using an open string. A, C, D, and F sharp, just for the sense of completeness. And C, D, F sharp, and A is tough. So we can use a G sharp. We're cheating a little bit until we can get to a voicing with the A in it. Like this, D, F sharp, and C, and A, just to be complete. But this is a little sharp 11. We can put a B on top as well, but we'll cover that in a second. The chords that go across, so now we can make a voicing that goes across the guitar. D, F sharp, C, and E is okay, and you put a B on top for a 13th chord sound, and that's a common shape. And here we go. This is F sharp, C, D, and A, and maybe we can use an E on top there. So those are nice embellishments for a standard dominant. They sound okay. I flip-flop the F sharp and the E. So I've got E, C, D, and F sharp, again relating to a C sharp a C major with a raised 11th, which we'll talk about in a second for D7 dominance. Here, the same thing on A, we have a bit of a problem. Put a sharp 11 in the top, the G sharp. So I have an A, a C, and an F sharp, and a G sharp. So I'm cheating a little bit. And then same, to get an A in the melody, it's difficult to do with the C note, or the A note, obviously. But C, F sharp, G, kind of a suspended, and with an A on top. And you can hear that it sounds a bit like that chord. It sounds permissible. So that's C, F sharp, G, and A, and maybe get it to a B. So it sounds like C, F sharp, G, and B. So it's like a C major, and then to a D13 of some sort. Now the chords can also go up like this: D, C, D, A, C, F sharp. And this one's sort of a 9th chord: F sharp, C, E, and A, with a G sharp up top. So it sounds like an F sharp minor 7 flat 5, which is of course acceptable for the D7. And again, A presents a problem. So this is A, F sharp, G, and B. So sort of a related chord. And here again, the C. Now you can put the B inside now. C, F sharp, B, and A. And these chords are good. They work for the dominant well. They're like C major 7, sharp 11, or flat 5 chords. For instance, that's a nice dominant 7 for a D. That's C, F sharp, B, and D, going to an E. And you can hear. And even the standard C, F sharp, A, and D. So coming right off of a standard inversion. That sounds nice. Again, that's how we got the B. We just moved the A to the B. That works fine. It's acceptable. Now moving up a little bit, we have this chord. Again, the F sharp minor 7 flat 5. We can go back down to the sharp 11, or we can move up to the B. So we have a nice 13th chord, F sharp, C, E, and B, which can move to an A or a G sharp, and that's fine. And if we need to get the E on top, we can with an F sharp, C, D, and then the E, which we've already covered, and we can move it to the G sharp as well to get the sharp 11 in the bass. those are all fine as well. Moving back down, we had said earlier that this was okay. The C, F sharp, B, and A. And likewise here, it's a little bit of a stretch, but it's a related chord. B, C, A, and G. So even though there's no F sharp, it can work as a sort of a passing chord for a dominant. For a D7, you can hear the sus. Anywhere you have the third, the sus is fine. So, like this. D, F sharp, C, and E, moving to a G. The F sharp for the G. Same here. So we can, this is F sharp, C, E, and A. Move the F sharp to G. Totally acceptable. And those are generally a survey. I mean, you can use stretchier ones. You know, so A, F sharp, G, and D. If you want to keep a pedal tone on the D, that's okay to do. So A, F sharp, G, and D is permissible as well. That's a general survey of the minor 7th type and the dominant 7th type on D on the 1, 4, 5, 6 string family.